Man Ronin here. Welcome back to the channel. Well, we're going to wait and see if we get anybody come on. It is just started here, 12 seconds ago. Nobody's on yet. So I'll kind of wait to give a little description of what we're doing. Like I said, promised a video, 2 of them a week, and that's what we're going to do. Nobody's on yet. We'll see what happens. I'm still learning how to do the live streams on the phone. And like I said, was able to make a thumbnail, and we'll see what happens. But the title of this video is Forever the Chaos Life. And if you're a motorcycle rider, that's very true. You know, there's just not a whole lot of what I'm trying to say, exciting things happening normally. You're going to have chaos all the time, whether it's other traffic. Oh, we got one viewer. If you're a viewer, please give me a little chat there and we'll see what we can see. But chaos, I used to live in constant chaos. Let me see, not 2 viewers now. I used to live in constant chaos back about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. And what I mean by that is you're able to react to different situations pretty much all the time. And if you're a motorcyclist, again, 2 viewers now. If you're a motorcyclist, expect chaos constantly. Who's this? There's Cliff. Hey, Cliff, glad you made it. Like I said, trying to put out 2 videos a week, despite the computer issues. And like I said, the parts were ordered on Monday, and we'll see when they actually get in. But again, the title of this is Forever the Chaos Life. And if you are a motorcyclist, that is common. You've got traffic, you've got breakdowns, you've got possibly everything that you can imagine that could happen in your life will happen while you're riding motorcycles. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today, is if you're a motorcyclist, whether it's Harley, Royal Enfield, Yamaha, Honda, well, maybe, I'm just teasing. It is the chaos life. There's Iron Lady. How you doing, Iron Lady? And like I said, that's one of the things that we want to talk about today, is how to cope with chaos. One of the most effective thing, 4 people who we got there. Harish, glad to see you, Harish. Like I say, we're working through this, no computer time, and I really do appreciate you guys hanging with me here, even though these live streams are, they're not going to be as popular as my regular ones, and I understand that, but I want to make sure I still get 2 videos a week content to you. But chaos, motorcycles, hand in hand. For example, when you're riding, you have to be ever vigilant and be prepared for all kind of chaotic situations. Intersections, people pulling out, deer, trash in the road. A lot of guys, especially new riders, have trouble with, let's say, obstacles in the road. Now, there's a way to, if you're riding in a group, that longtime motorcyclists will do, and they'll put whatever side that you see the obstruction on the road, they put their foot out on that side. Let's say there's something like what do you call it, a piece of wood that fell off a truck on the right side of where you're riding, so you put your right foot out. The same is true with your left foot. Those kind of things seem simple, but they help avoid some of the chaotic situations that you're involved in. Another chaos thing is, we mentioned about cars pulling out from in front of you, or trying to get you in an intersection. You have to be ever vigilant. That's probably the biggest key I can that I can talk about, is being ever vigilant. Hey Jeff, glad you made it, and thank you for saying all my content is good. One of the things that in my past is security, and that got me to the grass. Iron Lady says grass. Yeah, it's a bane, especially in wet conditions. That's the bane of a lot of motorcyclists. Lauren says, hi from York. Glad to see you, York. Ash says, hey, old man, really enjoy your videos. But you have to be ever vigilant. Anytime you approach any kind of intersection or driveway, especially blind ones, you've got to look on all sides. Jay says, hello from Belgium, just like your videos. Thank you, I appreciate that. Again, I got a lot of new people that are on there who I really want you to go through the catalog of the things that we are shooting. If you go to the Best of Old Man Ronin, that features the top ones, like my WTF a Harley rider doing on a Himalayan. That's got over 170,000 views. And also, I think the top 5 has over 70,000 views. So we get a lot of views on that type of thing. but like I said, we're talking about chaos today and being ever vigilant on the motorcycle because stuff goes wrong. For example, like my computer, things went wrong. And you really have to be able to understand that those things are going to happen and be prepared for it. Now, I know a lot of people are getting into moto camping, and I get asked all the time, what do you carry? Well, one of the primary things I carry in moto camping are a toolkit or a tool bag or a tool roll, something like that. More than what they give you in like the little toolkits for like Royal Enfield Himalayan has a little toolkit. And that's nice. That'll give you a start, but by far it's not enough. There's other things that you have to prepare for. I like to take a lot of zip ties, a lot of baling wire. I like to carry plastic bags. I like to carry electrical tape. I carry an extra full set of tools on pretty much all the most common bolts, and then of course an adjustable wrench, things like that, because chaotic situations happen. Let me give you a quick little story. Iron Lady and I were riding our Road King here about a year and a half ago, maybe. I think it's like that, about a year and a half ago. Maybe 2 years. God, yeah, 2020 is a blur. Can't remember. Let's see. We got a few other people. Jay says hello from Belgium. Namaste, Harish. I see you as well. Jay says I'm past. Whoop! I knocked that off there. I'd like to see that again. I'm past camping on the bike. When you are like me, 63, you're like a bit more confident. Well, Jay, we're similar age, and you still got to get out there, baby. But as far as what happened to Iron Lady and I, we were riding, and we were down, I think, outside of Newark, and we kept smelling this gas, and we thought, man, somebody's leaking gas somewhere. And on EFI, Harley-Davidson, well, all EFIs, there's a high-pressure fuel line. And what that means is as it's pumped, the gas is pushed through at higher pressure than what your normal, like your carbureted motors are. And we looked around, we couldn't see anything dripping on the ground or anything like that. So we were wondering what was going on. So we rode a little bit farther, and man, it got really strong. And then I pulled over, and I noticed that my left leg was just soaking wet, and I couldn't feel it because of the wind. You just really can't feel it. Soaking wet with gasoline. And here my high pressure line on the fuel system had sprung a leak. I mean, the bike is over 20 years old, and it was spraying gas all over the engine and all over me. So we were immediately pulled over. And my little toolkit that I carry, which contains plastic bags, zip ties, and baling wire. Hey, Andy, how you doing? I was able to put the plastic around the fuel line and then zip tie it tight and use the baling wire and make sure everything was secure just to get us home. Now, I don't recommend everybody doing that kind of thing, but the whole idea of that story is you have to be prepared for chaotic situations on a motorcycle. I know a lot of folks that when they go moto camping, they don't take enough equipment for, let's say, not only breakdowns on a motorcycle, but also for food possibilities and also for fire starting. There's a lot of stuff that you should carry. My number one thing that I cook with, I use a combination alcohol stove and wood burner. In other words, I can use the alcohol until I run out. And after the alcohol has run out, then I can use wood in it to prepare the food that I need. Let's see. Didn't see a notification. No, Andy, I didn't have a notification for it. It basically, I'm still learning how to do it on the phone. Franklin says, greeting from Somerville, South Carolina. Enjoy your videos. Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate it, Franklin. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching. But the reason I use the alcohol/wood burning stove, and it folds down to near nothing, and I'll show you when we get into the basics what I use with my moto camping setup here coming soon. But it gives me the ability to use a constant heat and adjustable heat with the alcohol stove, but it also gives me the ability to use wood. If I need to, little sticks and stuff like that, in case I run out of alcohol, because you never know. Again, always be prepared. Boy Scouts always had the thing, be prepared. Well, it should be like that in everything, whether it's motorcycle riding, moto camping, just a trip to the grocery store. Be prepared for things to go wrong, because they usually do. And again, I'm running through that right now with my computer issues. And somebody said, well, you're really, really big on maintenance, but your computer hard drive goes bad every 4 or 5 years. Well, I never heard of that before, and I actually talked to my computer guy, and he said that's not true. He says unless you're dropping it or banging it around or moving several times, which I happen to have done. We moved a couple times, and I think that's the biggest problem. And we moved, and it made that hard drive a little unstable. Now we had it docked, but that doesn't matter. So like I say, my computer guy says don't pay attention to that, but the main problem I had with my computer is it was older, and I was trying to do, really intricate stuff with video editing that it wasn't built for. And again, that's my fail. I failed. In fact, Iron Lady reminds me this all the time. You knew this was coming? Yeah, I probably did, but I do like a lot of people. I wasn't prepared. Let's see. Jay says I can relate to that fuel leak. I got one on my Yamaha FZ1 Fraser about a month ago. The fuel line from the tank to the injection blew, and luckily I was just outside my garage. Yeah, you're lucky. But again, carry stuff along that you can do quick little repairs, or if you have, somebody, some kind of roadside assistance, then use that as well too. But preparing for the chaos life is essential for motorcyclists, probably more than any other, I would say, sport, because you're not only dealing with the mechanics, but you're also dealing with, if you're going moto camping or off road, you're also dealing with things that can go wrong in the wilderness as well too. Have you ever thought about test riding a Yamaha Tenere? Yeah, I've thought about test riding a lot. It's about access. Test rides to me, though, don't really, I've mentioned this several times, don't really show me a whole lot. For example, particularly in new motorcycles, they're all going to run good. If not, then why are they in business? I prefer to do first impressions, and then after the first impressions, long-term riding to give me what I think is best for me personally. What I mean by that is I would never review a motorcycle that I didn't have over 1,000 miles on it. And the reason why is because you really don't know how it's going to fit you. Seats break down. When you're riding a motorcycle for the first time on a test ride, you're excited. Everything is cool. It's brand new. Oh, I like this. Until you get it. And then you have to, again, to me, test rides are, they're very important to see if it fits you properly. But as far as doing a review on how I like it, I've had a lot of motorcycles in my life, and some of them I've kept for after I got 1,000 miles on them, and I'm like, gone. And that's one of the things that if I didn't like it, I want to get rid of it. And there's a lot of that stuff. Now, we had a Triumph Speedmaster that I kept for about a year and a half, and I really liked the bike, but the opportunity was to get rid of it and get something else, and that's exactly what we did. So Marshall says, I really enjoy your Himalayan videos, and I want to get a second bike to start ADV riding. And that is really cool. I hope this channel will give the opportunity for a lot of people who have never been into ADV riding an insight of what it's going to be for you. My voyage or travels with it has been pretty eye-opening for myself. Cliff says, I'm staying quiet about being a Honda rider. That's okay. We'll accept everybody. You'll just have to go in the back of the bus. Let's see. Jay says, your body changes and your whistles? Do I whistle on a sock? I don't know. No, he's probably mentioning about your body changes when you test ride a bike. And it does, after a period of time, that seat, I don't know what that means. Wishies? Oh, your wish? I don't know. You can tell me again. But your body does change, and especially for long term. I know my Road King seat is not as comfortable as it was when I weighed less. What are you gonna do? But to get back to the chaos life, you have to be prepared for every possible situation. What you want for a bike? I get. Oh, so wishes. The H on there just threw me off. Sorry about that, Jay. That's me. I don't read it, and plus it's really small on my phone, really, really tiny. I got bad eyes. That's what these are for. And I just don't like. Here, we're going to talk to you today about the chaos life. How was that? That's kind of what we're going for. Marshall, have you ever thought about doing mail call videos in which will help out small channels? I don't really know what that is. I don't get any mail because I haven't put my address on there yet. I don't have a P.O. box. The problem with me is going to the post office is not an easy task. We live quite a ways away from the post office. And so if I was going to the post office every day, man, I'd be wasting a lot of gas, and it's not that pretty a ride. So I'm not enjoying myself. I'd rather ride out in the hinterland, if you will. But to get back to chaos life, being prepared for every possible situation and realize that everything is going to go wrong. Sir, just made a video full mods. Just make a video of full mods of Himalayan. Well, we've got a couple mod videos out there. We've got one of what my plans were, and we've got one on what we've done so far. Again, look through the catalog, particularly new people who have not been to the site yet. I suggest you to go through the catalog, start with the best of, and then each one is put in each different situation. Like the Royal Himalayan has their own group. The Harleys, each Harley has its own series. Now, some of them don't have much videos on them because I haven't really done much. The Royal Enfield Himalayan is by far the most popular I do. Sig says, my Hemi is ready for pickup from the dealer today. Very excited to have her back. Working on putting together a Moto EDC kit. Well, that's going to be a video coming up, Andy, and it's basically for me, since I'm doing most of my videos, I always carry a knife, I always carry fire starter, I always carry a repair kit, and I always carry a little hand pump, and we're going to be doing that. The little hand pump is what I use to blow up my suspension on my Harley, and I mean, if you have a flat tire, it's going to take you forever, but at least it'll get you out of some issues. But things like that, it depends on how far and how long I'm gone. But an EDC for everyday carry, if you don't understand, if you haven't never heard that term, EDC means everyday carry. It's combination of using something that's going to protect you personally and something that's going to help you get out of issues. And that is part of the chaos life. And what you have to be aware of is carrying, like I said, some electrical tape, some plastic bags, because plastic bags are very good barriers for leaks. They do work better than electrical tape, but electrical tape is mostly for electrical problems. Let's see. Steven says, have the metal issue resolved on the Royal Enfield Himalayan worked out, or do you know? I think you're talking about the really early ones, the first generation where they had some issues with some cheaper metal that I've seen. Now, I don't know this for a fact. I just saw it online. And people were complaining that they had some stuff break on it, but those have been handled well before 2018, and that's when my bike was made, was in 2018. But as far as, let's see, they have metal issues. Okay, that's the same one. The EDC, as far as carrying, again, stuff that I mentioned before, plastic bags, duct tape, zip ties, baling wire. If you guys don't know what baling wire is, I know sometimes I speak country and not a lot of folks understand that, but it's just simply thin wire that's easily able to wrap around stuff. What you can do for a high pressure line is take that plastic and double it up, and then take that baling wire and wrap it really tight like a coil, and then also use the zip ties in conjunction, and that will get you home in most situations. It'll also hold things up. If you fall over and you crack a bolt off, you can use the baling wire to hold like your exhaust up, or you can hold your mirror on, or it's things like that. It's really essential, everyday carry stuff, to have those kind of things with you. And they don't take up much room. You can have like a little bag that you can keep this stuff in. Fire starter. I use a lot of what do you call it? Magnesium strips and things like that to start fire. As far as my camping stuff, I've been camping my whole life, and I use a pretty extensive fire starting kit. And like I said, we're going to get into that too. One of my most common things that I use to fire start, you see guys out there saying, well, we're going to rub sticks together. You're an idiot. It's going to take frickin' forever. Friction fire starting. I know how to do it, and I've done it in case, but most times like that, I use, and I'll be honest with you, the simplest possible. Magnesium and hard steel, carbon steel, that's going to give you the best sparks no matter what. And it's usually a carbon steel knife. I carry a lot of different types of knives with me for different situations. I do a lot of batoning, and I'll show you that in a video coming up, where you take your knife and you use another piece of wood to split wood down into more of a tinder style. I also carry cotton balls that have been rubbed pretty extensively in petroleum jelly, like a Vaseline. Those things like that, I mean, they fire right now. I carry, like I said, waterproof or windproof matches, things like that, extra lighters. All this stuff, again, redundancy in the chaos life is really important. There's a saying that I use constantly, And I know the last video I did, I said I was going to tell you the saying that I used, and I forgot because I'm old and stuff. But that saying is 2 is 1, 1 is none. And that means I'm redundant on almost everything that I possibly do. Let's say if I want to have a knife, I need 2 because maybe you lose 1. Same thing is true with matches. If I have a pack of matches, I want 2 because maybe I lose 1 or 1 gets wet if it's not the right proper matches. Same thing is true with everything that I do. My first aid kit. I carry, when I go on a long-term trip, I carry a trauma kit because stuff happens. Here's a good example. My second oldest son was on a trip up into Alaska, and he was taking a city boy. And I don't mean to pick on city boys, but they don't have that kind of experience in stuff that goes wrong. And they were up there, and he was using a hatchet to break up wood. Instead, he was cutting it between his legs, which is, I see that. What are you doing? He hit his leg, and he lacerated himself wide open. Well, my son, listening to what I've been teaching him his entire life, was able to treat that and get him to the hospital, which was 7-8 hours away. And the doctors gave him accolades for having the right equipment. And that the right equipment is having whiskey with you. Now I know that's kind of funny to say because we're not drinking it. Well, maybe we are, but shh, it's for your use for trauma. And because what it does is it helps thin the blood a little bit and it disinfects. And what I mean by thin the blood a little bit, because what I want to do is let's say you get a snake bite. You want to get that snake bite kit, particularly in the western part or the southern part of the United States. You want to get that out of there, and you want to make the blood flow a little bit easier. This is what I've learned a long time ago because I've been bitten by snakes. And you want to get that sucked out, and then you want to clear that wound, and then you want to use some kind of quick clot to get it to stop bleeding. I know it sounds kind of redundant, but there is a reason for that. You want to make sure that those poisons and stuff are out of there. And after you do that, then of course, you can, now I'm not a doctor, but this is what I do. And I'm sure I'm going to get somebody in the comments, so that's exactly the wrong thing, but it's worked for me. And I always carry sutures with me as well too, because I've had to suture myself up because you never know, stuff happens. And that's in my medical kit. And we'll go through an entire medical kit as well too in future videos. Like I say, we're doing as much as we can. And we want to make sure that we get the right audience for what they want. So when I start doing motor camping, there's going to be a prep series to start with, and there's going to be actual moto camping along with moto camping cooking. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things happening. Well, we're sat over 20 minutes long, and most of my videos on chats are really long, but these, until we get the computer up, are going to be around that 20 to 25 minute realm. So if you have any questions real quick, now's the time to put them down there. But I want to emphasize is what the topic was today is Forever the Chaos Life, because that's going to happen in motorcycle riding. It's also going to happen in your camping. Things are going to go wrong, and be prepared. Be ever vigilant. Every car on the road is trying to get you. And if you think about that, I mean, it makes you become hyper aware. But if you're aware of that, your motorcycle riding will be a lot better. And the reason why I say that is because, and I've mentioned a story in one of my other videos, is when I was a kid, I was a member of a little motorcycle club at my high school, and there was 5 of us. 4 died before I was 18, and I'm the only one of the group that's still going. And I learned by having a major accident in the early 80s that created the idea of I need to be hyper aware of everything that's going on around me. And even if you're riding with people, it's nice to talk, and I do constantly talk when we use our Cardo Bold Pack, one more time, we use our Cardo PackTalk Bold JBLs to converse between Iron Lady and M's, and while we're riding, and it's great to talk, but again, it's also making you not only what you can see, but what they can see and hyper aware, and that is living the chaos life and surviving. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video today. Again, we sat there right about 24, 25 minutes. And like I said, there was no promo on how to do it because I'm still learning how to do this during my chaos life without a computer. Well, if you enjoyed the video, guys, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. I don't have a little thing to put up there, but we'll pretend it's up. We'll pretend it's right there. Subscribe. And make sure you share and comment. I read all the comments, particularly this. I really want everybody to comment on these live streams in my chaos time without a computer, because I really want to hear what your opinions are if you like these kind of things too. Because maybe we'll start doing a live video once a week if these are popular, which I'm not sure they're going to be. We'll still do our regular ones, but we might add one to it. I mean, I have more time than I know what to do with. Iron Lady will say that's not true. Well, again, guys, really appreciate you watching me. Really appreciate you having a good time following this, and I really do enjoy you watching my videos. And again, go through the catalog. Make sure you find one that you're going to like. The Himalayan, the Harley, just general stuff. It's all there. You just have to look for it. Like I say, we've got over 100. Well, this will be 102 since my computer breakdown. We've had 2 since my computer breakdown. Well, again, ride safe, everybody. And keep her on 2 wheels, baby. Shall we do the song again? Everybody seemed to like that. Do 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 do. Let's end it. Boom. There we go.